Welcome to Western Mass News, your school authority. We continue to provide you the latest information surrounding the coronavirus pandemic. Thanks for joining us here on ABC 40. I'm Brittany Murphy. With so many questions surrounding schools, we're taking this half hour to focus on your concerns. So it's time to start addressing those issues. We turn now to Dr. Erika Hamilton, a microbiologist from UMass Amherst. Welcome. So starting here, how frequently should students be changing masks at school?
Anytime a mask becomes damp or wet, it should be changed. And this isn't just for kids, this is for adults as well. And how quickly that happens is really going to depend on what the child is doing or even the adult is doing and how hot it is. So we do know masks work really well to lower the spread and transmission of COVID-19. Unfortunately, as they become wet, their efficiency at doing this decreases. So not only is it gross to walk around with a wet mask on, but it lowers the effectiveness of the mask to have it wet. How often someone would have to do this really depends on what they're doing and how hot and humid it is out. If you know that your child is going to have gym on that day and they're going to have to wear their mask and they're going to get sweaty, then you should definitely send them with extra ones to switch after gym class. If it's hot and humid out or if the classrooms are particularly warm, you should be sending your child with extra masks so that they can switch them out and put a dry one on.
I didn't know that. You learn something new every day. All right, as students return home from school, should they be changing their clothes?
Most of the time, children will not have to do this. There are no known cases of someone contracting COVID-19 off of clothing. And this is because it's actually harder to contract COVID from surfaces and other objects than people would think it is, because the virus would have to land on the clothing. It would have to survive there for hours, if not days. And then it would have to get from the clothes into someone's eyes or mouth in order to cause an infection. And that's a pretty rare event to happen. Now, if your child has gone to school and they come home and they talk about how their friend was coughing a lot, or the child sitting next to them got sent home because they had a fever, and you're worried about it, yes, have them change their clothes and wash that clothing. But in general, you will not have to.
Good. Cut down on that laundry time. All right. Should families still be limiting after-school get-togethers with friends?
Yes, this should still be limited. Now, I know it seems kind of counterintuitive because they're already going to school and they're meeting up with people at school. However, you want to limit the number of chances of a possible exposure. One thing that some families are doing is that they're creating something called a pod or a bubble, which are certain groups of friends that your child always plays with. So if your child has a handful of friends that they spend a lot of time with, both in school, you can stick to having those kids come over in the evening or meeting up for a play date. It's just one more thing that you can do to reduce the chances of exposure your child may have to this virus.
As always, Dr. Hamilton, thanks for joining us today. We'll hear more from you in the coming days as well. And a reminder, Western Mass News is your school authority. We're working to answer your questions and concerns about this school year. You can call our newsroom at 413-846-0200 or email us schoolauthority@westernmassnews.com.